We need reminders. We need to remind each other of certain values, certain virtues, certain aspirations that are very worthwhile. Because you may or may not have noticed, but a lot of the goals we have, a lot of what collectively is heralded as something worthwhile, is only worthwhile in the most shallow sense. People might applaud you, people might make you feel good with some accolades, some praise, but it's not enough to get that fulfilling feeling. What brings that fulfilling feeling? It's feeling as if you have real connections. Real connections meaning what? Real connections meaning somebody has a genuine, sincere interest in you, a genuine, sincere attraction to you, not just some sexual attraction, an attraction to you as a human being, platonically, I'm even saying, which, by the way, parenthetically, I believe that platonic love, that platonic appreciation, which you can have in a relationship, by the way, which, to be honest, I think is the definition of true love, when you can be romantically attracted to somebody, then also greatly, significantly, platonically attracted to them. I mean, what more can you ask for? But that platonic appreciation, connection, is so available to us. And it's what we're looking for and what we want. We want it to be based off of something real. Because you know why the real matters too? Because the real also implies consistency. The real also implies a lack of deception. You can rely on the real because the real tends to be constant, tends to be. But a part of my real, for example, would be for me to explain like, hey, the best version of me, whatever it is that you may be attracted to at that platonic level, it's because I put massive effort into it. It's because that is the path that I walk. It is conditional. Yes, who I am by default, it's all right, it's cool. But it's still not, it doesn't reach that standard that I apply, that we all would like to reach. Okay, how about this? The whole point of all the religions, man. I mean, not the whole point of it, but a big point of all of the religions is to remind us, or to encourage us, I should say, to be better than our humanity. It's be better than your humanity. That is an oversimplification. That is not all it's trying to tell us. But my point is that, like, I agree with that aspiration, with that intention, with that sentiment. Be better than our humanity. People look for evil. They look for monsters. We want to, like, okay, there's these, demonic beings exist. Humans are the monsters. Obviously we are. We have been. Read some basic fucking history and look at, there's definitely saints and people with the best, but there's even people with the best of intentions who end up still hurting people massively. Human beings, you don't even need to look to history. Look right now. We are very much so monsters. We care about people who are only in our proximity. We care about people who only tend to look like us and are similar to. There's so many reasons. I mean, there's people who walk among us that just want destruction for destruction's sake. And it's rare that animals even do such a thing. Human beings, even though we are amazing in all things considered, when I sit back and reflect upon everything as this creature that can compute its surroundings, that can compute his internal environment. Yeah, humans are amazing. But I mean, all things considered, but just because we're amazing doesn't necessarily mean we are therefore good. We are therefore worthy, valuable. Because as many have pointed out before, nature would move on without us just fine. Like, what do you contribute and add to the person's life? What are you contributing and adding to anyone's life? I really think right now in 2020, right now in this first world civilization, with all this time and opportunity, one thing that when I first read about people, just, the basics like Socrates and stuff and Aristotle and all that good stuff, you look back and you would see that these people could philosophize because they were the aristocrats, because they had this luxury, they had this time, they had education brought to them and all this stuff, and they were afforded that opportunity to intellectualize things, to wax philosophic about stuff. It's like, wow, what a luxury. But to be honest, we have that luxury as well. Many of us, we have that luxury to compute, to comprehend, to try to understand what it is. What is this thing called life? What is this thing called humanity? Look, we have the capacity for love. We have the capacity for hate, for religiosity, for spirituality. What are you hating? What are you loving? What are you attaching yourself to spiritually? These are all things so much, they're so worth it in terms of like, just finding an answer. What is your answer? Do you have an answer? Or is it okay? Will you one day wake up and say, fuck, I wish I would have thought about this and that and that and this? Okay. Good morning. Shit. Look, I don't know. But we need reminders. We need reminders. We have to remind each other. And since no one is, I'm going to fucking remind you. How about that? So